understand, you know, the idea that in 2017, I have to explain to you why I have the right to be here.
Yeah.
You don't have to apologize to me for slavery. I know it wasn't you, but you don't have the right to continue that thought process. That's why you're getting crap from people.
You know, I think when we were discussing this article, Are We Raising Racist, this article, one thing that we were talking about during our Hot Topics meeting, and it's very important to me, I don't think we talk to our children enough about how to talk about race. People are so uncomfortable, and our kids don't have this racial fluency where they can say to a child that looks different, you know, they can ask the questions of, why do you feel this way? How are you feeling? And that, I really think, is the problem, because studies show that parents like myself of Black and Latino children are 2 to 5 times more likely to discuss this with their children.
We don't have a choice. We don't have a choice.
We have to discuss it.
It's not something
White
that...
parents shouldn't have the choice either. They've got to talk about it.
Here's the thing. You don't know where you're not until you see something. Okay, so if you look at a movie and you don't see any white people in it, you say, oh, there's no white people in the movie, because you notice you're not there.
Yeah.
Well, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
So when you're talking to your kids, and sometimes, let's face it, some parents are raising racist kids because they're in a racist household.
Yeah, they say things. They use words.
And you know, and this is across the board with everybody. So maybe we have to figure out as parents where we stand on these issues.
Well, 2 things that jump out to me are, first of all, I think sometimes kids are much more enlightened and involved than we are. We see those 2 little boys, one black and one white, who got the haircut.
Tell the story. Did you?
Oh yeah, they're 2 little boys, and they said that they wanted to see if they could confuse their teacher.
Yes.
That she wouldn't know the difference between them. So
because they both had the same haircut.
There's a beauty of soul. Like, these types of things are definitely taught. But in kind of building off Sunny's point that kind of jumps out at me is, I think the reason people don't necessarily talk to their children is we don't know how to talk about it at all.
Yes,
and this is the reason.
There's no racial
One
fluency.
fear I have of speaking about race is, in a misstep, it's going to be called racist or white privilege. So in something I don't know, I'm so scared of offending that I will not talk about it at all.
Yeah.
I actually live in a great place to have these conversations, so I can come to people and say, I've gone to you, I've gone to Whoopi and said, okay, forgive me ahead of time for anything I say that's wrong. But, and then I'm able to do that, but not everyone has that environment. So I often think those conversations aren't being had because, especially right now in the current climate, you say the wrong thing, possibly just I voted for Trump, you're racist.
But we have to talk about it. We've got to talk about it.
And you know what?
We must.
Part of the problem is, if you can't stand up for why you did what you did, you have to be able to explain to people, because people do want to know. They say, why did you do this when you see X, Y, Z? You have to be able to back it up. And if you can't back up your points, then it goes to the point that you have to think about what you're doing. It's a bigger thing.
You can't ignore it, though. You can't ignore it. Like, you know, if you I grew up in a house where, you know, I'm white. I didn't have a lot of those experiences where I would look at a movie and say, I'm not present. Parents need to say, you know what? We need to have these conversations so that when Steve King comes out and says something, you're part of the people that speak up and say, this is not what America stands for.
People do need to recognize
even though it wasn't
privilege.
your experience.
But I grew up in a house where they never discussed
You don't have to
it.
deal
My
with the
parents
things I
did
have
that
to
with
deal
me.
with.
Yeah, but that's a whole conversation. That's what we're having. That's what we're talking about.
good.
And people are saying, listen, I don't know how to do this. Everybody doesn't have the people to go to. Well, look around. Maybe you do, and you just didn't know it. We'll be right back.